about to look at an OAT test for a kiddo, and I haven't even looked at it yet. So I kind of wanted to tell you where my head is at in approaching children and health, um, regardless of the symptoms. I know that sounds silly, but thinking about the body as a whole, I'm going to kind of explain to you and then how I break that down. Okay, so when kids have behaviors that are difficult to deal with, or almost even you can't believe they're saying or doing or acting in such a way, no matter what you do, no matter how much you talk to them, no matter how much you punish them or change punishment or change discussions, your child really struggles with some type of behavior. Or maybe they're saying really mean things, and then you get glimpses maybe of them being a super loving child. I want to just tell you what I'm thinking off the top of my head. Number one, nervous system regulation. For sure. No, 100%. So nervous system regulation, whether you see a network chiropractor, whether you go to a functional neurology brain therapy facility, if you're lucky enough to have one of them around you, whether you start to learn nervous system regulation practices, they're okay. But nervous system regulation is really, really, really important. And sometimes you need more than just breathing exercises. You need physical adjustment, physical touching, physical lasers, like at these therapy centers. Anyway, so nervous system regulation controls our entire body, from the way that we think, from the way that we breathe, the way that we digest, the way that we pee, the way that we poop, all of the things. And then I think, okay, well, and then you have the whole gut health and food sensitivities and the food and the environment and all of that you're taking in, because that is epigenetics, and that absolutely, whatever you are eating, drinking, absorbing, energetically feeling, all of these things affect what's happening on the inside, right? Like our gut health. Everybody knows gut health is a major role. It's where 80% of the immune system is. It's where a lot of our neurotransmitters, start. And if you have inflammation and you have dysbiosis in the gut, that affects the brain. And then you can't make neurotransmitters properly, all of the things. So we really need our cells to be healthy. Okay, so whether we're talking about our gut health and the cells in our gut lining, or our brain health and the cells in our brain and our neurotransmitters, or our detox system, all of these things, the cells need to be healthy. Because if they're not healthy, that will also trigger the nervous system to be out of whack. What I just talked about being so important. So even if you are getting all these therapy sessions and laser sessions and all these things directly targeting the brain, you need your cells to be healthy, because if your cells are not healthy, they cannot absorb the therapy that you are giving them, and it'll trigger the nervous system to go out of whack again. And then there's also structural things, like, is your child a mouth breather, right? So when they're a mouth breather, that affects the nervous system and triggers the nervous system. It also gives them large adenoids and tonsils and all the things, because they're breathing through their mouth. Their tongue is sitting in the back. Their tonsils are the filter instead of the nose being the filter. And that sets the body also into a fight or flight. So you want to look for structural things like mouth breathing. So what do you do about all that? In my opinion, before you go on to doing other things like tons and tons of testing, or genetic testing, I think is really powerful after you've done all the things I'm going to recommend. All of this is in my free guide, by the way. If you click on the link, it'll give you resources. It'll give you all the things I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, regardless of what is triggering your child, there's absolutely inflammation or oxidative stress going on. Their mitochondria are having a really hard time keeping up, giving the cells the energy to do the things that they need to do, but the body's overcompensating anyway, so the cells aren't functioning the way they should. And the immune system is dysregulated. The immune system knows how to take care of our body when it's imbalanced. But there's two legs, TH1 and TH2. When one is in dominance over the other, the body is out of whack and it cannot do the things. It cannot recognize viruses and fungi and parasites and fungal overgrowth, and it cannot produce, stomach acid appropriately. It cannot move the bowels the way that it needs to. It cannot do all of the things it needs to do if the immune system is out of whack. This video is really long. So my recommendation is, number one, to start the immune modulators that I always talk about. I'll put a picture here, but if you click my name and you go to the link on my page, they're there. There are 2 immune modulators, a blue bottle and a green, blue, and white bottle, okay? Start those. They alone are going to reduce oxidative stress significantly by the body doing it. They're going to help support the mitochondria because you're taking stress off of the oxidative system. They are going to balance the immune system, increase the immune cells like macrophages and dendritic cells and all of these things, so that inflammation is going down and the body is now recognizing viruses and bacteria and breaking down biofilms and removing them on the body's own. That is step number one, no matter what you're doing, no matter how high up of a functional medicine doctor you've seen, no matter what OAT test or test you've received back. This is where you start the immune modulators, okay? My second recommendation is a vitamin D supplement that is more than what your child is taking. Their vitamin D needs to be above 50 and closer to 80. Those are my non-negotiables, period. Beyond that, of course, whole food diet or gluten-free, dairy-free alternatives, continuing to work on the diet, continuing to work on gentle parenting and talking and being calm in the household and relieving stress and providing safety and love and all those things. Clearing out the toxins in the home, getting cleaner products, using EWG to, and Yucca app, YUKA, to find cleaner products. All of that is so important. That's it. I don't want to say that's it, but immune modulators, vitamin D, clear out the food in the home. Beyond doing that, if you have actually done those things, then, in my opinion, you start looking at testing. Then you get really detailed. Then you look at genetics. Because let's say you're missing an enzyme genetically and, maybe you could just replace that one enzyme. Boom, crazy things happen. But when you do the things I'm saying, when you take the immune modulators to reduce oxidative stress, help mitochondrial function, and balance the immune system, you are going to do so much for your kiddo's body right in your own body, right there. Vitamin D, non-negotiable. There's so many supplements out there, but vitamin D is a must. Your child's vitamin D must be above 50. Okay? Then swapping out the food and the products that you use in your home, like body wash, bubble bath, toothpaste, all those things. Then you can do further testing. That is my guide to you. That is my free guide in a nutshell, but please go download the free guide. It talks about everything I just talked about, but it lays it out for you. It gives you resources, people to look after, how to find certain providers, all the things. I know this is ridiculously long, but maybe I was due for a 10-minute video. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Drop your questions below. And follow for more if you have a neurodivergent child or just want to have a healthy home.